Chapter 3. Eros. Eyes of Obsession. By Sally.LE. Was what had just happened truly real? I sat alone in the staff break room, my mind spinning. My shift had ended half an hour ago, yet I remained rooted to the chair, caught in a whirlwind of thoughts and sensations. His name? Eros, the god of desire. The god of desire. I whispered the words to myself, trembling. Desire. The god of desire. My pulse raced, my chest tightening, my skin burning with remembered heat. I tried to focus on the mundane, the ordinary, but everything ordinary paled against him. Every thought circled back to that first encounter, the taste of his lips, the dangerous magnetism of his gaze. The manager interrupted my spiraling thoughts, his voice grounding me to the present. "Why didn't you leave? Your shift is over. Are you kicked out of your rented place again?" I was just a little busy, I stammered, trying to explain, though words felt meaningless against the storm inside me. He frowned, suspicion flickering in his eyes. "What were you doing? Sitting here for half an hour staring at a $50 bill. If you're finished, please leave," he added firmly, shaking me from my trance. I left the break room, my hands still trembling, and stepped into the night air. The streets were empty, dark, and cold, yet I felt an unfamiliar heat spreading through me. Every nerve screamed his name. I couldn't escape it. I didn't want to. The next morning, I arrived late at the university. Unusual for me. I normally prided myself on punctuality, but today, my mind was elsewhere, consumed by Eros. I slipped quietly into the lecture hall, trying not to draw attention. The professor, a tall man with a commanding presence and black suit, stood with his back to the door. Whispers among the students reminded me he was new, but I barely cared. My eyes, however, were drawn to him, and my heart leapt in both fear and desire. "Why the delay, miss?" His hoarse voice cut through my thoughts, both familiar and dangerously alluring. I pressed my bag closer to my chest. I'm sorry. It won't happen again." "No problem. You may continue," I whispered nervously. Then he turned, deep blue eyes locking on mine, and the air seemed to thicken, heavier with anticipation and unspoken desire. "Leave my lecture, miss," he said calmly, yet each word dripped with an authority that both terrified and enthralled me. It was him, Eros. I followed him into his office, compelled by a force I could not resist. My pulse pounding, my skin alive with tension, my chest heaved, each breath trembling. My gaze locked on his, a desperate mixture of fear, longing, and forbidden desire swirling inside me. "Remind me your name," he said, pen in hand, eyes still fixed on his papers, calm, yet commanding. Hazel Thompson," I whispered, my voice shaking as if the sound alone could betray the storm within me. Time seemed to slow. He looked up, and in that moment, the room contracted until it was just the two of us. A universe defined by proximity, by heat, by the electric pull between us. I acted before my mind could intervene. I tugged on his tie. His eyes widened, but he did not resist. He did not move. He simply allowed the collision, the closeness, the magnetic force of desire pulling me into him. And then, I crossed the line and I kissed him. Not gentle, not tentative. I poured every unspoken word, every pulse of longing, every suppressed desire into that kiss. My hands fumbled against his chest, feeling the taut strength beneath. My body pressed impossibly close to his. He did not pull away. He did not reciprocate fully, but he did not resist. Each inhale, each subtle shift of his weight, communicated a dominance that made my skin ignite, my mind shatter between terror and ecstasy. Finally, I broke away, breathless, my lips tingling, heart hammering like a wild drum. The taste of him lingered, intoxicating and bitter. Coffee, desire, and the raw pull of him. I felt dizzy, unsteady, yet alive in a way I had never known. My name is Hazel Thompson," I whispered again, trying to anchor myself in reality. The room was silent except for the echoes of our breaths, the unspoken tension, and the lingering ache of desire that refused to be ignored. For the first time, I realized this was no longer a simple crush. This was an obsession, a dangerous, intoxicating pull that neither of us could fully control.